Please don't get in my vehicle here.
I'm stuck in a truck with Buck.
And I remember the first time I heard your brother's band.
Oh yeah.
It literally blew my doors off.
Really?
I couldn't.
Where were you?
I got an after-hours job painting the office, and this guy gave me a tape, and I put it in a little boombox I had, turned it on, and literally stopped painting, and I was just absolutely floored. It was up to here.
Up to here.
Yeah, it was kind of the soundtrack to growing up for me, and in my university years. I don't know. It made me really proud to be Canadian.
Is that right?
You know, when I heard Wheat
Why do you
Kings.
think?
I don't know. It was the the line in Wheat Kings where it's hung with pictures of our parents' prime ministers.
Yeah.
That line just floored me.
Is that right?
It made me really proud to be Canadian. I felt like someone was putting Canada into poetry that my generation, everybody could relate to, and I think it was that pride thing in Canada.
I call it a humble patriotism.
Yeah, and warts and all too.
Yeah.
The song Trickle Down, I'm sure. Talking about the police and cronyism and things like. Anyway, I just was completely and totally blown away all throughout the band's career. And here's something I heard when they were first getting going. Gord said, "This isn't going to work if one of us is driving a Lada and one of us is driving a Cadillac." So the boys did a Fiveway split on things. That always struck me as having such forethought to realize what was going to happen and to head it off before anybody's feelings got pinched.
I think that's what happens. You start off, you're five friends from the same high school, and you got to put that stuff in place very, very early.
And I mean, how many talented bands that have legs just disintegrate?
Yeah.
Like you think of Oasis, and I mean that's brotherly love, which I can and you can relate to. Sometimes you can get into real fierce battles with your sibs, but those guys could have had another 10 years of making brilliant music, but their personalities got nowhere.
No, it's true, and that whatever that formula is, sometimes you make the mistake of saying that's a replaceable piece, and yet you change up the formula too much and you just can't get back there.
Yeah, that component was doing more than it looked like it was doing.
That's right.
What was it like growing up with Gord in your family, man?
Well, I'll tell you, man, I had a moment when early days of the Hip, my wife and I, Caroline, my girlfriend at the time, we were living in Montreal, and I went to this dépanneur, and I was going through the magazine rack, and I pulled out this music magazine. It was pretty thin, and Canadian music magazine perhaps. Anyway, I'm going through it, and there's a picture of my brother in the Tragically Hip, and there I am in this little dep in Montreal, and my jaw dropped.
Really? Oh, you weren't expecting it?
I wasn't expecting it. I mean, I still have the magazine.
Nice, man.
I was so shocked, and I just thought, oh my God, it's happening.
That is crazy.
And yet, of course, it's just this little music mag, but it was everything. Anyway, they came to town. We had a 1-bedroom apartment. All 6 of us stayed with us.
Sweet.
Yeah, we had one couch.
Yeah.
These guys came with sleeping bags.
That's how you do it in the beginning.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You don't spend a dime. You don't spend a dime on a hotel or anything. They all came in with sleeping bags. Then, we would have had, a few drinks after the show I think it was at the Spectrum, and it was a big night, like so exciting. And we wake up the next morning, and not only are they gone, everything's neat as a pin.
Seriously.
All the dishes have been washed, even though it wasn't their dishes.
That's how you get invited back.
That's how you get. That was their modus operandi. You couldn't tell anybody had been there.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to get stuck with me again in the next video.